I recently released a public playtest for Celestial Golf on Steam. This is the orbital mechanics space golf game that I've been developing for a good chunk of 2025. And I was really excited to launch the game and see what people thought about it. If you did check out the game, thank you so much. And to the people who gave feedback, that's awesome. There's a link here, right here in the menu, to either give a quick feedback or take the survey. So thank you to everyone who filled that out. And in this video, I just want to talk about some of my experiences with the direct hands-on playtesting of the game. Just firstly, this is a brand new YouTube channel for Jukebox Interactive. So if you're coming over from my personal channel, I'm just trying to separate out, my personal stuff from the game development. So this is the channel to follow from now on if you're interested in my game development activities. I've been playtesting this game since very early in its development. I've been getting friends and family to try it out, but this was the first full playthrough that you can do of the 9 levels in the demo. So when I sat down and watched people playtest the game, it was actually really quite difficult to see some of their reactions and get their feedback. And this is it's a very big part of game development, right? So it's not like I shouldn't be doing this or they should be just sugarcoating it. It's great to get the really good, hard feedback to really improve the game. It made me realize that the game is in a pretty bad state at the moment in terms of the user experience, and that's what I need to focus on over the next couple of months. So my plan was to actually release this demo in the February Steam Next Fest, which has not happened. That has just concluded now, and this game was not in there. This will be in June Next Fest after I make a bunch of improvements to the overall tutorial and the user experience, which is where the negative feedback was really coming from. So let's go into an example of what the problem was with that. There are 9 levels in the demo, and these all introduce a new concept every time, but the mission that really was getting people stuck was this, the final boss mission in a way, Mission to Mars, where the game teaches you some of the more advanced tools about how you're going to get all the way from Mercury, if we zoom out here, to Mars, which is all the way over here. So you've already been bouncing around between Earth and the Moon and the Sun, and now we're doing a much more difficult mission to hit this very small target over here using a new tool that will be introduced through this tutorial system. The tutorial system itself really needs work. It's currently going to guide you through a step-by-step process, and every time we can just do one example here as we get into escape from Mercury and into a solar orbit. It'll get ticked off, but you can see there's quite a lot of text. It's quite hand-holdy. It's basically telling you every step of the way. Now get to this apoapsis, get your numbers up. So it's telling you to look down here at these numbers. No one wants to look at the numbers. Everyone just wants to get a nice visual, how high is this? How high is this? So part of what I want to do is streamline this tutorial, remove most of that text, maybe put some videos in there, get rid of the numbers, not just from the tutorial, but from the user interface itself, and have it be all based on visuals. The real problem is with this interface that I came up with, and I thought it was being kind of clever. I'll show you the interface that this mission is teaching. You can plan your trajectory like this. You can sort of set it higher and lower based on how high you're going to hit the ball. That's going to control how far through space your ball gets up to. But the interface that I'm introducing here is that if you hold down the Alt key and you move your mouse over the trajectory, you can see that all the planets have this little ghost image. I can't really point with my mouse without disabling the interface, but you can see this ghost image of the planets kind of circling around, and that's showing you when the ball is here, where are all the planets going to be. So if you have a look at Mars, which is here at the moment, if I move the mouse over this, you can see Mars is kind of slowly moving, or part of the problem is it's going behind the tutorial text. That was one of the really frustrating things from watching the playtests. You can see Mars is going to be at the top of the screen now. Our goal is so that when you get the ball up to this apoapsis point, that's where Mars is. So it's really about picking the timing of when you launch your hit on the ball. It's basically about that you can use a trial and error to kind of, well, there we go, we actually have a Mars encounter there. So you don't even need that interface if you're lucky. But use a trial and error to kind of like move around the timing of your hit and the distance to try and create a Mars encounter, which you can see here through all these events. Unless you get lucky like I just did there, you're actually going to be trying to use this interface to plan, where is Mars going to be on its orbit. And the problem is you can sort of see Mars is coming up closer and closer, and we're reasonably close, so you can kind of tell here that we've got something close by, and you can kind of fiddle around with this until you get a Mars encounter. There it is. But it's really fiddly, and there's a lot of trial and error involved, and the user interface is getting in the way as well. And I can sort of see the playtesters getting really frustrated with just clicking randomly and then mousing over and repeating this rather convoluted multi-step process. So I kind of have to step back and go like, well, that was a really cool idea to show all the planets at the same time in their future time period. It was really clever to implement it, but having something that's clever to implement isn't necessarily the best gameplay. So what am I going to do to fix this? Well, let's just step back and go and look at Kerbal Space Program, which has a very similar interface to this. I was trying to not have the same interface as KSP, but I've tried something else of my own invention, and it's not really as good. So what does Kerbal Space Program do to help you line up a target like this? Well, you just literally click Mars and you say set that as a target. And then once Mars is the target, then as you move your trajectory planning around, the game will tell you, this is how close you're going to get. At the closest point of your trajectory to Mars, this is how close it's going to be, and this is where Mars is going to be at that time. So once I have that interface in the game, you'll be able to just say, hey, I want to go to Mars, and then just play around with this, make it bigger and smaller, move it around time, and you'll be able to see, I'm getting closer, I'm getting closer, I'm getting further away, and it'll be like warmer and colder that the children play. So that's really what the whole point of this game is to try and make space exploration, orbital mechanics feel intuitive, feel like something you can push and pull and until you get the results that you want. And that's where I want this to end up. I don't want it to be about looking at these 8 numbers on the side and painstakingly using a trial and error to see if you're in the ballpark. I want it to feel nice and intuitive and flow. So I'm glad that I got that feedback, and it's time to just look into redesigning both the time preview feature, the tutorial interface, and the game interface itself. Once that's done, I think it'll be time to start getting this game a little bit more publicity, having a proper Steam demo instead of just what we have now, which is a playtest, and then working towards getting it into that Steam Next Fest. So that's where the game is at the moment. If you would like to play the current experience, the one that people told me isn't very intuitive, you can play that right now on Steam. Just go to the Celestial Golf page and click join the playtest. If you want to wait around for me to make these fixes and see how the game evolves over time, I'd love you to follow me on that journey. So just click that wishlist button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.